The morning my nephew walked across that stage, I was wearing the only dress I had bought for myself in 4 years. Navy blue, ironed twice. My friend Sandra had helped me pick it out. She said I looked like I was attending something important. I told her I was attending the most important thing of my life. She did not argue. My name is Laura Hendricks. I was 41 years old when my younger sister tried to walk into a gymnasium in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and reclaim the son she abandoned before he ever drew his first breath outside a hospital room. Let me start where everything actually started, not at graduation, but at a kitchen table at 2 in the morning, 20 years ago, when my mother slid an ultrasound photograph across the Formica surface and looked at me like I was the solution to a problem she had not asked for. My sister Brianna was 16. I was 22. She was the one my parents worried about. Pretty, fragile. Always one wrong step from catastrophe in my mother's eyes. I was the dependable one. The one who handled things. The one who did not need checking on because she would, as my mother always said, figure it out. Brianna had been 4 months pregnant and told no one. The boy, a 19-year-old named Cody who worked weekend shifts at the bowling alley, had already stopped returning her calls. My mother, Diane, laid out the options the way a general reads a map. Adoption meant paperwork. Paperwork meant people finding out. Keeping the baby meant a teenage mother in the house, and that, Diane said, would ruin everything they had built. She walked to the hall closet and came back with a folded yellow blanket. Cotton, faded at the corners. She handed it to me. This was yours. When you were born. 2 weeks later, I withdrew from my master's program in social work, packed a bag, and moved into a 1-bedroom apartment on the east side of Cedar Falls. Marcus arrived on August 9th, weighing 6 pounds and 11 ounces, with a full head of dark hair and an opinion about everything. I was in the delivery room. Brianna turned her face toward the wall when the nurse asked who wanted to hold him first. My mother did not move. I stepped forward. His fist closed around my finger and he stopped crying. Just like that. The first year nearly destroyed me. Marcus had colic. He screamed every night from 7 until midnight. I walked circles around that apartment, humming songs I barely remembered from childhood, surviving on 4 hours of sleep and the particular stubbornness of someone who has no backup plan. I was working as a teaching aide at an elementary school, 7:45 to 3:30, then home to a screaming infant, then up again before sunrise. Once, at 11 at night, after Marcus had cried for 3 straight hours, I called my mother. I was standing in the kitchen in a formula-stained shirt, crying myself. Mom, I need help. Just one night. Her voice was steady on the other end. You chose this, Laura. Figure it out. She hung up. Brianna, meanwhile, moved to Portland for college in September. Tuition covered by scholarships and my parents' savings. The same savings Diane said could not cover Marcus's pediatrician bills when I asked. She earned a business degree, then an MBA from a university in Seattle. Marketing director by 28. 2 marriages, both short. Neither time did she send Marcus a birthday card. August 9th came and went, year after year, and the mailbox stayed empty. When Marcus was 8, he asked me a question while I was washing dishes. Aunt Laura, how come I don't have a mom and a dad like other kids? I turned off the water, dried my hands, and sat across from him. I told him I loved him more than anything in the world. He studied my face the way he always did, already reading people like a language. Then he said, I know. I just wanted to call you Mom instead of Aunt Laura. Is that okay? I had not cried in years. Not when Diane refused to help. Not when Brianna called once, 6 years in, about a car she had left in our parents' garage, not to ask about her son. But when an 8-year-old boy asked permission to call me Mom, I broke completely. He walked around the table and hugged me. Small arms, tight grip. He smelled like pencil shavings and grape juice. It's okay, Mom, he said. First time. I did not call Diane to tell her. I already knew what she would say. Marcus was 17 when he showed me the group chat. He set his phone on the kitchen counter, screen up, and waited while I read 2 years of messages between Diane, my father Ron, Brianna, and 2 aunts I barely spoke to anymore. Asterisk when Brianna is ready, she'll take Marcus back. Laura is just keeping him for now. Asterisk that was Diane, 14 months earlier. Brianna's reply came 3 days later. Asterisk give me a couple more years. I'm getting my life together. Asterisk Ron had responded with a thumbs up emoji. My Aunt Carol had written, asterisk poor Brianna. She's been through so much. Asterisk. 2 years. My family had been discussing the return of my son like he was a storage unit they were paying monthly fees on. I set the phone down. My hands were steady because they had to be. Marcus was watching me from the window. Asterisk why didn't you show me this sooner? Asterisk because I didn't want you to lose them, he said. Asterisk even though they don't deserve you. Asterisk. 17 years old, standing in my kitchen, protecting me from my own family. 6 weeks before graduation, Brianna messaged him on Instagram. Asterisk hey, handsome. I know this is out of the blue, but I'm your bio mom. I've thought about you every single day. Asterisk 3 heart emojis. A smiley face. Marcus replied politely and briefly. No warmth, no invitation. Brianna replied within 2 minutes. Asterisk can't wait to see you at graduation. I'm bringing someone special. Asterisk. His name was Derek Calloway. Real estate. Successful, well-dressed. A man who, according to Diane's phone call, wanted a family and thought Brianna was brave for the difficult choice she had made. Asterisk this is her chance. Laura asterisk my mother said. Her chance. Not Marcus's. Not mine. Brianna's chance to finally have the life she deserved. And my son's graduation was the stage she planned to perform it on. The gymnasium at Cedar Falls High School held 400. Every seat was filled. Brianna arrived like she was walking into a gala. Green dress, heels, auburn waves. Derek beside her, silver watch, the posture of a man who had never once questioned his own version of events. And behind them, Diane carrying a grocery store cake on a paper doily. White frosting, pink lettering, asterisk congratulations from your real mom. Asterisk. She walked it down the center aisle while 200 families found their seats. Before the ceremony began, Brianna walked to the staging area, told the volunteer parent she was Marcus's mother, and hugged him in full view of the room, theatrical. Arms wide, head tilted for visibility. Marcus stood rigid. His arms never moved. Then she came to my row, leaned close, and said, loud enough to carry. Asterisk Myra, thank you so much for taking care of my son all these years. You've been an incredible babysitter, but I'm here now. Asterisk. Sandra took my hand. I did not respond. From the staging area, Marcus was watching us with still, locked eyes. And in those eyes I read a single message as clearly as if he had spoken it. Asterisk wait for me. Asterisk. So I waited. When they called his name, asterisk Marcus James Hendricks, valedictorian asterisk, the gymnasium hushed. He crossed the stage, received his diploma, looked down at me in the third row, and winked. Then he walked to the podium, unfolded his prepared speech, looked at it for 5 seconds, folded it back up, set it aside, and began speaking from memory. He told 200 strangers about a 22-year-old woman who gave up a scholarship for a baby she had never held before, about dollar store diapers and Christmas presents wrapped in newspaper, about night classes and 4 years of sleepless discipline and a master's degree that nobody from her family attended, about every parent-teacher conference, every fever, every homework table, every birthday cake she baked herself because bakery cakes cost $40 and that was a week of groceries. Asterisk she is not the woman who gave birth to me, asterisk he said. Asterisk but she is the woman who chose me. Every single day. For 19 years. Without asking for anything in return. Asterisk. 200 people stood up. Brianna's phone was still recording, pointing at the ceiling. Derek was looking at her, then at me, then at Marcus, his expression shifting from warm to calculated. When Marcus finished, Derek straightened his jacket, shook nothing and no one's hand, walked across the grass to the parking lot, and drove away. His car passed the school sign and disappeared toward the highway, taking with it whatever version of Brianna he thought he had loved. Outside, under the oak tree, Brianna confronted me. Her voice was sharp and loud enough for nearby parents to turn around. Asterisk, you coached him. You turned my own son against me. Asterisk, Marcus appeared behind her, still in his cap and gown. Asterisk, nobody coached me. Asterisk, he said. Asterisk, I wrote that speech myself. Asterisk, he told her calmly, without anger, that he was not punishing her, that if she wanted to be in his life, she could be. But she would have to start from right now. Not from a cake. Not from an Instagram post. Not from a performance. Asterisk, what am I allergic to? Asterisk, he asked. She had no answer. Asterisk, tree nuts. Asterisk, he said. Asterisk, since I was 4. Mom figured it out when I broke out in hives at a birthday party. She drove me to the EI at 60 in a 35 zone and sat in the waiting room for 4 hours holding a juice box. Asterisk. Then he reached into his vest pocket and pulled out the yellow blanket, faded, frayed, thin as old paper. He walked to me, took my hand, and placed it in my palm. Asterisk, this is yours, Mom. It always was. Asterisk. Diane set the cake down in the grass. Nobody touched it. She walked toward the parking lot with Ron following quietly behind, the same way he had followed for 40 years. Neither of them looked back. 200 people had heard my son name his real mother, and it was not the woman on the cake.